What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today just a quick video about the Zcam E2-M4 and a turbo mount in conjunction with the Sigma 1835 1.8. The turbo mount is brilliant to physically exchange the mount on the camera as opposed to having a clip-in adapter, and especially with the locking mount is a brilliant idea, truly brilliant. It does have some flaws, which is what this video is about. Flaws that I've personally found, not with all my lenses, but especially with this one and some other lenses I'll talk later, which is a little bit weird. So the turbo mount has a crop ratio of 0.71. So your 18mm will become a 24 and your 35mm end will become 47. So roughly 25 to 50mm lens with a constant 2.4 aperture. Now, the issues I run into with all my lenses is quite a bit of flaring. Flaring is great, I love it. I'm probably flaring now from this light. This is fine, I enjoy creative flaring. But I don't enjoy a big splodge of white, desaturated, decontrasted area in the middle of my picture when I'm anywhere within maybe 140 degrees of a light source. So basically, if you're not shooting away from a light, you're gonna get flaring. And this is through all my lenses. My Samyang 35 1.4 is especially bad, to the point where when I first put the lens on the camera, when I received the turbo mount, I thought something was wrong. I took everything off, cleaned it, took the mount off, checked there wasn't a fingerprint inside it because it was really, really bad. And I'll do some examples of that in another video. Now, for the moment, this is just a vignette test. So I'm gonna run through 18, 24, and 35mm and ramp the aperture up, back down, and then I will speed the video up a little bit so you can kind of see it breathing in the corners. I think that's the best way to do it. Just information, I'm not making any assumptions about the turbo mount or any complaints about the camera. This is just to show people, because I know it's a popular lens with a popular mount and a popular camera, that you may experience issues with it. So let's jump on the computer and take a look at the footage.
So here we start with the 18. As you can see, the more I increase down, the worse and worse vignetting gets, until it's full on black, harsh corners. I ran back down again. What I decided to do was to speed this up a few times and lay a waveform over it, which I thought was kind of interesting to see the waveform changing and how black it fully blacks out, especially more on the right side than the left. So we are now 24mm. Doing the same thing. It's interesting with the waveform because your eyes can sort of lie to you a little bit when I leave it there. Okay, the top corners are really bad, but when you see the waveform, then you really start, and especially with the sped up clip, you see not just the vignetting, but this kind of white sort of, it's almost brighter before it gets lighter before it hits the vignette. And you can see this when this flexes in and out. And then 35mm, again, your eyes tell you that it's pretty much no vignetting, it's okay. When you see the waveform, you adjust your opinion a little bit because there's a lot of vignetting there. Wait for the waveform. Okay, here we go. Waveform time. Look at that dip, look at that curve. You think it's good, and it's okay, but it's really not that good. So, that was that test. So now I'm going to whip through these pretty quickly. It's my Samyang 35T 1.5, Pentax 28 2.8. As you can see, very good on this one. Very little vignetting at all. Look at that waveform, it's straight. And the Pentax 50mm 1.4. There's a little bit more in this one, but still a hell of a lot less than the Sigma. And these lenses were cheap as hell.
So as we can see from these test shots, it's pretty much just the Sigma which vignettes. Which is a real shame, and it is an APS-C lens, and I would have thought that image circle would cover, but apparently it doesn't. But it's definitely not the turbo mount. But this is also strange because all my full frame lenses, so what did I start with? The Samyang 35, no vignetting. The Pentax 28, no vignetting. The Pentax 50, which I'm filming on now by the way, 51.4, no vignetting. It's just the Sigma. APS-C lens, so I'm going to go ahead and blame the Sigma for not creating a big enough image circle that can cover a turbo boosted MFT sensor. Also, I didn't do it in this test, but I looked yesterday, my Vivitar 400 5.6, again PK mount Pentax, I just bought this for fun, for landscape photography, to mount on my Sony a7 III. This vignette's worse than this. And it's a full frame lens at 400mm, and it vignettes at 5.6, it's vignetting, and then down at, it goes to 22, I think. It's like full black circle vignette, which makes no sense in my head. If someone can type and explain or tell me why a full frame lens would vignette more than an APS-C lens. This has clearly a smaller image circle, so I don't understand. But this video wasn't to try and understand it, which is to give a demonstration of the vignetting. So I'm going to draw an assumption that it isn't a turbo mount problem, it's a lens problem. So if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe. There will be a few more of these little Z-Cam diagnosis, problem solving, rig building videos in the future, because I'm loving having this camera and I love talking about it. And none of my friends want to listen about it, so maybe you guys want to listen. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.